Welcome back to the Conservative College Show. My name is Derek Smith, and today we've got a lot to talk about. Today we are going to be taking a look at a video of compilations, or a compilation video of Trump and a little bit of his beliefs towards the LGBTQ community. Along with that, we are going to be reacting to it and dissecting specific parts of the compilation. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the first little clip of this video.
You leave it the way it is. There have been very few complaints the way it is. People go, they use the bathroom that they feel is appropriate.
So if Caitlyn Jenner were to walk into Trump Tower and want to use the bathroom, you would be fine with her using any bathroom she chooses?
That is correct.
So the thing we just saw was Trump being questioned about his policies when it came to bathrooms for transgender people. And this was April 21st of 2016, so before the actual election. Trump basically was questioned and asked that if Caitlyn Jenner were to walk into Trump Tower, would he allow Caitlyn to use any restroom that he wanted to? And Trump, of course, said absolutely. And this is 2016, so pre-Trump presidency and term, and also pre-Biden presidency and term as well. But so there really weren't many issues that we saw on the news and in the country today, like we do. There weren't many issues of women and children in schools being assaulted. But now we see that through the Biden administration and late in the Trump administration, we see that this has happened. Right, in 2020, end of Trump administration, we see a transgender Wyoming woman is convicted of sexually assaulting a 10-year-old girl in a bathroom. That is disgusting, right? And I'm not saying that people are using transgenderism as a gateway to walk into a woman's bathroom, but I'm saying that, and I'm not saying everybody is, but I am saying that some people are. The second case is 2021 from Virginia. A Virginia judge found a transgender student guilty of sexual assault in a bathroom, in a female bathroom. But not only that, he also transferred to another school where he also sexually assaulted another girl there. So he had two sexual assault cases. Of course, this is the first sexual assault case in 2021. The 2022 case is from Oklahoma, in which an Oklahoma transgender student was charged with sexually assaulting female students in the bathroom. That was 21. And then the most recent case that I'm going to talk about is 23 in Wisconsin, where we see a transgender student had flashed 4 freshman girls after a swim class in the Wisconsin locker room. Like, we're allowing people to come to the bathrooms at this point, and a lot of this during the Biden administration, which is a large issue. Not if you want to get away from the bathroom part and stuff, then we can take a look at jail cases in which we look at Rikers, which is a women's facility, and in New York, and basically a male inmate was convicted of raping a Rikers Island, Rikers woman, or a woman in Rikers Island facility, and then there's also another case in just another jail of a 52-year-old man who identified as a woman, also raping a female. So this happens in different places, whether it's school bathrooms, whether it's jails, whether it's just in public, in families, this happens a lot. So this is a large issue that I feel like didn't really come to play until after we saw towards the end of Trump's presidency and well into Biden's presidency. So the next little clip of the video is going to be pertaining to a really horrible shooting that happened from a terrorist. Let's go and take a look at this.
Correct.
A radical Islamic terrorist targeted the nightclub, not only because he wanted to kill Americans, but in order to execute gay and lesbian citizens because of their sexual orientation. It's a strike at the heart and soul of who we are as a nation.
So Trump was there in that clip basically standing up for the gay and lesbian community after a nightclub was shot up by a 29-year-old terrorist named Omar Mateen. and he killed 49 people and injured or wounded 53 at the Pulse gay nightclub. And Trump also says here, it's a strike at the heart and soul of who we are as a nation. I personally, I don't know what he means by that, but what I take from that is that our diversity as a country is what makes us who we are, without a doubt. And so Trump is saying that for the terrorist group, or because Omar Mateen was a part of the Islamic State, that specific terrorist group believes in the anti-LGBTQ ideology. So basically, what they're saying, what Trump is, or the anti-gay and anti-lesbian ideology, which is basically what Trump is standing up for here, is that he is going to stand up for the gays and lesbians. Now, the next thing we're going to take a look at is less of a clip, but it's a specific tweet from President Trump that was tweeted the day after he made that statement. So we read, Trump says, "Thank you to the LGBTQ or LGBT community. I will fight for you while Hillary brings in more people that will threaten your freedoms and beliefs." So this is a big issue in politics that we see, is a lack of border and a lack of security, right? And this is what Trump likes to point out about the left and the Democrats. He likes to point out their lack of security and their lack of border control, because he says that he's going to protect the LGBT community and says that he will fight for what they believe in and their freedoms, while Hillary Clinton, his opponent at the time, was fighting to have more of an open and less secure border in order to bring in terrorists, whether we know they're terrorists or not, but to bring terrorists in and to bring people who are smuggling drugs and people who are threats to all sorts of different diversity and communities that we have here in the United States. The next clip is another clip to kind of continue on to the what we saw in the last two things we kind of looked at, and it's also talking about the just the hatefulness that we see from foreign ideologies. Let's go and take a look. Let's go and take a look.
I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens from the violence and oppression of a hateful foreign ideology.
So we saw that Trump basically stated that what his goal to do is to protect the LGBTQ community's ideologies and their belief systems and freedoms from that of a foreign, hateful ideology that we see with Islamic terrorist groups such as the Islamic State and ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Because we've seen in the past there's been large numbers of these terrorist groups doing these things to groups such as the LGBTQ and other diversity groups. The last thing we are going to review is going to be the largest and most talked about thing that we need to discuss in this video. And it is going to be a series of one tweet, but in a series that we're going to look at from Trump. So Trump says in the beginning of the tweet that he says this: "After consultation with my generals and military experts, please be advised that the United States government will not accept or allow," and then he kind of left people on a cliffhanger as he posted this at 7:55 a.m. and then posted at 8:04 a.m. So he basically said, "Will not allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the U.S. military. Our military must be focused on divisive and overwhelming." Again, another pause. And then his last post of this was 4 minutes later, in which he said, "Our military must be focused on divisive and overwhelming victory and cannot be burdened with the tremendous medical costs and disruption that transgender in the military would entail. Thank you." So what exactly did Trump mean when he said, we know what he meant by this statement. He meant that trans people will no longer be allowed to participate in the military in any capacity. And at the end of the tweet, we see he says that the cost of having trans people in the military would be things such as disruption and medical costs. When I researched into this, I saw that the biggest thing for me was medical costs when it comes to trans people, because like other people, trans people also will have mental health issues. But around 58% of trans people had mental health issues in 2019, and that number has actually risen to 67.8% in the year of 24. So 76.1% of those people have anxiety, 71.2% of those people have depression, and just like most military personnel, 23.6% of those people have PTSD. Now, that's not to say that should be the reason why trans people don't get in. But a lot of the issue is that we see with research and with experimentation that trans people have a lot of these disabilities and these mental health issues pre-entering the military. And so just like people with asthma and other health conditions that aren't allowed to enter the military because of that, this is another thing we're seeing is trans people aren't allowed to enter with that. Not only that, 46%, that's almost half of trans people, seriously considered attempting suicide in the past year. So that's such a large number that if we allow even half of the trans people, there's a possibility that we get 25 to 50% of those people we let in that are contemplating suicide. Of course, other military personnel contemplate suicide. A lot of that is post-entering or post-service. Again, with the medical cost side of it, it's not just things like, health, mental health therapy, and preventative care such as screenings that other people would need for cancers and things like that, but it's also possible gender affirming treatments that trans military personnel would ask for, right? These things include hormone therapy, these things include surgeries for top surgery and bottom surgery and things like that, and they also include voice therapy to either deepen the voice or raise the pitch of the voice, and even things such as behavioral adaptations for people who are needing to understand how to fit in with their specific gender that they're transitioning to. So these are the issues that I saw with what Trump said, and like that I pulled. Hey, maybe he's speaking about this, because I'm trying to find the good in what he said. And this actual tweet was posted on July 26th of 2017. So we're 6 months into his presidency when he posted this. So I think that when Trump said this, he did not mean this in a demeaning way towards trans people, but more of the fact that we have to get people who are, ready and really can serve this country at the full capacity that we know and love.